Hi everyone, it's Kimberly. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for joining me. Thanks to the new subscribers. Those of you who are just getting familiar, I'm a soul coach and intuitive advisor, and I help twin flames and those that are along the ascension journey with self-mastery, and help you navigate and guide it as fluidly and effortlessly as possible. If you guys need help or want guidance, or if you're seeking clarification on your twin flame connections, I do twin flame guidance sessions in which we look into the Akashic records, intuitive guidance sessions, and I do all sorts of progressive work as well in terms of your healing, so soul coaching and past life regression, early life regression. You can check out all those things on my website. It's spiritualmaterialgirl.com, and don't forget to follow us on social media because I'm always posting lots of information there. Little energy updates, inspiration, things to help you in your ascension in all areas. So just a reminder also, two things is that hopefully you watched the May special or the May forecast, and I have that May special for my anniversary. You guys can start using it now, so you can book any session starting now. And use the code anniversary in all caps. There's when you book online, there's like a little slot where it says coupon code. Just enter it right there, and then I'll be able to track it that way. Thank you. So that'll save you a little bit off of each session. And then I'm going to be closing out the SMG Summer Camp, which is a complete transformational 12-week program for transforming your body, mind, and your spirit. So it's all levels. We're talking health, wellness, fitness. We're talking spirituality. We're talking healing from the root up. It's going to be pretty amazing. So I hope that you'll check that out. Okay. So I was just getting tons of downloads, just tons. And I was like, well, should I post a separate video or should I just make this the weekly forecast? So my guides kind of just showed me to combine it and make this the weekly forecast. I think it'll be heard or received better if I do it this way. So while I'm shuffling this deck, I'm going to talk to you about the messages I've been receiving. I have a kitty on the deck. I've got my windows open. It's a nice warm day. I've got a kitty in here making noise. We might hear dogs barking, lawnmowers. I might have to go rescue Stella from the deck. So anything can happen. Just be prepared. If I have to, I'll pause, okay? So thanks for bearing with me. So let's talk about the downloads, and let's talk about the messages I've been receiving about current energies in the collective and what we're coming up against this week. And then we'll pull some cards to reaffirm those messages, okay? So, oh my gosh, so much. As you guys know, if you've been watching my Ascended Masters series that I put out on every Sunday now, a lot of the symbolism, the universal symbolism has been coming across for the collective. It's not to say that you don't have your own signs and that you don't have your own language with the signs or your own personal signs that your guide team's sending you. Of course you do. But there are also these universal signs that more and more people are seeing. And they're kind of like showing them to me in advance so that I can call it out to the collective and help you recognize it and understand what it means or what they're trying to express to us. So this week, since I posted the last video, which I think the last video was, it was like hawks and eagles and salmon for the feminine, right? Hawks, eagles for the masculine. And that's been very true. Like I've pulled into parking lots and I've been like, oh, there's the eagle on the license plate. There's the this, there's the that. Lots of people were writing me saying that salmon, resonated for them. And I thought that was interesting because it's not something that, is quite as common or universal. But a new message is sweeping in for this upcoming week, and it feels like I'm getting, you're probably asking, how do I discern what's mine versus what's the collective? I don't know. I just know. I can just feel it. I just hear what they're telling me. They tell me. So I'm getting Broncos. Like I sit with these for a few days before I announce them to you. Just, sometimes it happens just automatically through writing, but these I have been seeing, I've been downloading, and the message has been, so Broncos. So I don't know if you're seeing Broncos anywhere, but like male horse, the bunking bronco, the Bronco sports team, the word bronco, anything. Could be just, you know, seeing a horse, a strong horse or a black horse or a male horse. I feel like, so the Bronco, they're saying, is so that we kick old attachments, old habits. Like, they want us to release what we're still hanging on to. So a lot of you have been moving forward, but like there's still like a piece of the past that you're hanging on to. Now, they came in and complimented that message with dead wood. Now, I have not only been seeing dead wood, because obviously we see a lot of the, you know, the winter die off at this time of year, but I have been seeing the words everywhere, and I've almost been bombarded with it. And, you know, that's a term that sometimes, like, you know, people use in the corporate world, like, oh, we got to get rid of that. That's dead wood. Like, you know, that person's not productive. They need to go, you know. But you have to look at sort of what's dead wood also in your life, like what's no longer serving you, what maybe has already died that you're still keeping around. And this feels very connected to the Bronco message about, you know, like, you know, some of that's like habits, dependency, kicking old habits, and like our dependencies. But I think a lot of it too is like, do you have a habit with someone? Do you have a habit with a particular person? This could be a habit of obsessive thinking. It could be a habit of, I feel like it's habitual thought patterns. It could be a habit of, maybe it's just you're used to having this person around. Maybe you feel like you miss this person, but it's really just kind of an illusion is what I'm being shown, because it's not really that you miss them. It's maybe that you just are missing like the habit of them. So what does that mean? So if someone, say you had like a boyfriend or twin flame that wasn't very nice to you, and you decided you were going to pull away, right? But then you look at the habit of that and like, oh, well, we used to get together every week, or we used to get together on this certain night, or we used to snuggle, and you might be missing that habit. You see, you might have a relationship with a friend or a relative in which you had a habit of, like, you know, talking on the phone every Friday, or having these conversations on your way home from work. But then you realize, like, they kind of put you down. They're not reciprocating. You know, they're not really that healthy for you. So you've pulled back. But at this time, you might be like missing that person because you're kind of missing that habit. So it's not saying that we don't still care about these people, even if we pulled away to align with ourselves, but it's saying that, you know, tune into like that discernment of, are you missing the habit, or are you missing truly, you know, the person, or is it something from within you that you can fulfill? So it could be also like literal physical habits, like I said, like dependency things, like, you know, like from food addiction to alcohol addiction to, you know, you might really get on course for a while and release these addictions or dependencies. And right now you could be going through a period where you're like, well, I kind of miss that habit. I want to kind of like go back there. I want to go back into that default setting, or I want to go back into that. I want to do that again. I want to have that drink. I want to, you know, and then you do it, and then you're not going to feel so fulfilled. It's the same thing if you go back to these people or relationships that aren't really serving you. It's time to now move that dead wood out. And I think some of you are like kind of keeping it there, and at least some relationships will renew, and we'll get more clarity on that one when I pull the cards, because I'm actually going to pull not divine feminine, divine masculine, but just for like relationships in general in the collective, because I feel like that's up right now. All relationships with our friends, with our family members, with our twin flames, with our karmic partners. And so we'll pull cards around that. I have to remember to keep shuffling. This deck needs to be shuffled. Good. Whoops. So does that make sense for you guys? So you might see these universal signs as a reminder if they come up, like, you know, just know that you're part of this. You're receiving the message too. There's something you need to look at, even if they're not right in front of your face. You don't notice them right away. You know, ask yourself these questions, because I feel like it's being asked across the board. There's something maybe that we're hanging on to, or we're going back to, that we don't need to. They're saying it's dead. It closed a while ago, or it ended a while ago. Why are you still hanging on? Or maybe that creating space is like more about creating the space for it to show up in a new way, and really truly, pushing that out of our energy field so that we can create the space for the new. I really do feel like if you feel blocked at this time, it's twofold. It's either it's early childhood stuff that still, needs to be healed, right? And so, like, you guys, I do have tools for that. I know some of you already know this, and I'm sorry if I'm repetitive, but those of you, there's a whole bunch of new subscribers. I want you to know, if you're just new, I'm not just a twin flame reader. I'm a soul coach. Like, I actually have the tools for your root healing, for your inner child healing, and a pretty high success rate with my clients. So if you guys feel like stuck and you don't know who to turn to or whatever, like, I have those resources for you. Please don't hesitate to reach out or book a session, okay? But yeah, so I'm getting, if you feel stuck, it's really like that root stuff. There's subconscious stuff that wants to come to the surface, and where we've not been allowing it. Now, I've had several breakthroughs with clients this week, and who are they're like, I don't want to be stuck anymore, and they're going to it, and it's all coming up, and it's just like a beautiful process to witness, right? Like, I've been there. I did another huge layer of my healing this past winter, and it's like, it can be scary and it can be hard and it can be, but really, when you have the right tools, it's like a relief, and it's amazingly, it lightens your load, it just feels like and there's some processing, there's some purging, there's some, stuff that comes with that. But with the right tools, like I said, you'll be able to navigate that and clear the way. So do you get the sense that, like, there's this door? It doesn't even feel like a door. It just feels like an opening. It just feels like there's an opening, like an aperture. And something is just standing there on the threshold, wanting to come in for us. And I know you guys can feel it. It's either something new, like a new job opportunity, or it's a new, divine partner, or maybe it's our twin flame, like wanting to reconnect with us in a new way. Someone's showing up at the doorstep, or wants to, or is thinking about that, or is coming in for us. Like, they're literally on the radar now. Okay. So for many of you. So if you're feeling this, it's like, then yes. And I'm sure you guys have noticed that synchronicities are absolutely speeding up, rapid, everywhere. I'm going to tell you a story. I just have to go check on Stella, so I'm going to pause this just for a moment. Okay, so yeah, synchronicities have been crazy. Like, you think it, and then boom, all of a sudden you see it. It's like instant manifestation, crazy things. But I'm finding, like, definitely with others in the collective. I don't know about you guys, but a lot of my, like, it's weird. Like, a lot of clients that I've worked with for a while just feel like all of the sudden, like, they're becoming friends, and like these friendships are blooming. And I purposely have called that in, but I feel like it's happening, or there's the opportunity for that to happen for everyone if you desire it too. I feel like people in the collective right now, like those on this journey, on the twin flame journey, on, like, we're ready to collaborate. We're ready to, work together. We're ready to share and be friends and share stories and synchronicities. So share your synchronicities, okay? Because it's going to open up a dialogue and a conversation for you to connect, especially like on social media and stuff like that. I had a crazy synchronicity the other day. I posted it on social media, and a client, friend, soul sister saw it, and she was like, oh my God, I have been seeing this or listening to this, and this had a similar message for her too. And so it was just really cool to connect with her on that. So if you guys are receiving synchronicities that you feel like, oh, you get goosebumps, or it really echoes for you, share it, try to share it. See if that conversation opens in this circle. So Synchronicities. Yeah, lots of synchronicities. Lots of downloads. Lots of downloads. What else do I have to tell you? Yes, I am planning a new collaboration as well, and I'm going to have that announced to you soon. There's somebody that I'm collaborating with to do an interview, and she's quite an amazing person, and I'll tell you more about her when we have everything solidified. We're also going to be holding a series or a couple of workshops together, and that's all coming soon, so I will let you know about that. But again, that's what I'm saying. You guys, collaboration is just, if you feel something, reach out, act on it. It's, people are more open right now for collaborating, especially because they're getting rid of the dead wood. They need to invite in what they really do want. So remember, it can feel really barren. It can feel like a dead, you're standing in a dead forest when you go through and you clean house on your relationships and you're coming into alignment with yourself and you're letting go of some of the things that have been toxic for you, or the people, or anything that's been questionable, any relationship that's been questionable. Then all of a sudden you're standing in the middle of a forest, and if you don't let that all go, then yes, it is all just dead wood. And so you have to allow that all to just kind of die off. It might be a good time to clean your garden and clean your forest, and and start really focusing on the new sprouts, on those new people that are popping up, and those new connections, and that new friend, and that new person that you feel like you want to reach out to, and because there's definitely a lot of impulses, and they're coming through us, and I feel like we need to allow ourselves to be guided and don't feel funny or hold back from deeper connection. A message that I also received that they wanted me to deliver to you is that sometimes, often these days, I was shown that your individual vibration is higher than the planets. And so the message I got was it's up to us to raise the vibration of the planet. I'm sure you know this sometimes, when you're in your own little sort of 5D bubble or high vibe bubble, and everything's feeling good and everything's flowing, and maybe you're way up here, you're not so entrenched in the 3D. And then you go and you interact with 3D, and it can feel almost like a shock, right? Well, that's because you're actually higher than what's happening here in the 3D, right? So that makes sense. So it's more like I was talking about with the Divine Feminine in my May monthly video, the May monthly forecast. It's more about sustaining the vibration now. So it's about bringing it into the 3D and raising the vibration of the planet. So, in that forecast, if you guys watched it, I talked a lot about balancing the polarities and masculine, feminine, and all of that. So, yes, and I'm going to hold this is the workshop. This is one of the workshops that I'm holding with my friend and cohort. And so I'll just tease it and I'll tell you it's called Equilibrium. And that's one in a series, okay? And it's really going to be dedicated to teaching you how to balance the polarities and understand how we get imbalanced and bring it back into balance, and how we do that not just from within but also in the world. But that's all part of this, because as you balance from within and you're able to sustain that vibration, like I said, sometimes we meet the outside world or we meet the 3D realm and we're like, oh wow, that feels weird. Has anyone ever felt that? I have. It's like a shock. You're like, oh, this was so different than where I just came from. Oh, I want to go back to being up here, right? I don't like it down here. Well, your job, what I've been shown, is your task right now, those of you who are doing a good job at getting up here and sustaining this, is to bring it into the 3D. So rather, because sometimes we come to the 3D, we dip, our energy dips because we're like, ooh, that's not what I was feeling 5 minutes ago, right? then, but right now your job is to come in and raise it up, okay? It's like hugely important. Like you are, it's not about bubbling or hermiting anymore. That I definitely got. Like, so if you've been like me, a little bit of, you know, a hermit, you know, that can be necessary for our healing, and it can be necessary to do this higher level work. But there's also a time to emerge, and I feel like that is this time right now. It's time to emerge because, like I said, there's awesome things waiting to come in for us, and some of those things are going to come in synchronistically. So we want to be out there and collaborating and connecting, and also like just you beaming that high energy, high vibration, and not allowing yourself to lower to what's around you. I was even getting that a lot of us are higher than nature. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, and I don't fully understand the whole scope of it, but the way they were showing it to me is like you're higher than animals right now in some sense, but it's they're purer in their ability to be unconditional, but you get into like a really high state. But now it's about kind of like evening that all out, sustaining it so that you can be in this physical world with it sustained. Does that make sense? So think about that, like when you're walking through your 3D world, and you know, feel your energy, feel into your energy, feel your energy dips, feel where you're carrying that presence in. Feel how it feels in contrast to the trees, in contrast to the plants, in contrast to the sky or the field or the forest or the wherever you are. Feel how that feels, because you're going to notice, you're going to really feel it at this time. You're going to feel an energetic contrast. Either something outside of you is going to be feeding you more energy, or you're going to be kind of feeding it. And this is about like you kind of acclimating to just like sharing your light, spreading your love, and spreading your vibration without like getting it sucked in or dipping down when you're like, ooh, it's not so high vibe around here, or I was just in a higher place 5 minutes ago, right? So it's easy to feel disappointed when we think those thoughts, and to have an energy dip, but we want to practice sustaining that, okay? All right, let's pull some cards. So Broncos, Deadwood, the vibration, synchronicities. There's other things too. Hopefully it'll just come out as we, I'm just going to do a little oracle reading here. Okay. You can hear these are still sticking. Okay. So we have friction. And I feel like this is almost like where the thunderstorm occurs, right? Like where the cold air meets the warm air. It's where the old, like, you can go on my social media and you can look on like Instagram or Facebook, and I took a picture of this dead log, all this dead wood, and then there's like new growth happening around it, like all these green buds and green everywhere around it. And it's like old meets new. It's like there's this clash right now. There is that friction. And it's like when we have the thunderstorms and, it's a really warm summer night, all of a sudden this cold air front moves in and we have these huge thunderstorms. That's what it feels like right now. So if you're in that storm, or if you're feeling that friction, that's because it's going to be easier than you think to move through. Some of this is going to be like a mental perspective shift, like just sort of like mind over matter. Like, I want to kick that habit. No, I'm not going to go back to that old, I'm not going to keep dwelling on that. Or is that just a habit, that person or that thing or that relationship? I'm not going to keep doing that. So I can actually just clear the space for the new, clear my heart, clear my mind, and there won't be so much friction, because I'm getting there is like a lot of clashing, and especially like for the masculine too. The masculine's feeling like a little bit confused, I think, with some things about his life path or life direction. And you know, but from all friction, like what happens after a thunderstorm, a rainbow, right? And with all like friction, like alchemy, like when you're rubbing things together, and then, you know, it's something ugly, and you know, that's this metal or whatever, and then all of a sudden it becomes something shiny and polished and beautiful. And friction's necessary to emerge into that clarity, into that beauty, and there's always something beautiful that comes from it. Oh, this was the other thing, and I'm glad this card is so beautiful and colorful. Rainbow colors. That's the other symbolism I want to talk to you about. It's probably the reason why I'm using this deck, because it has a lot of rainbow colors in it. I love rainbows, like love them. But I would never like gravitate towards like rainbow anything decor, or a rainbow piece of clothing, or, you know, if someone was wearing like a rainbow tie-dye shirt, I would just kind of be like, ew, I don't like that, you know. But I think what we're going to find is that you're going to be really attracted to rainbows right now. Not just physical rainbows, but the rainbow colors, like where we're going from red to violet. And it's going to be super appealing for our eye. It's going to be super palatable. I know for me, it's like I can't stop looking at things. Things just keep coming across me with like rainbow in them, and I'm just so drawn to it. It's almost like the colors are brightening and getting more vivid, and like our lens is getting more vivid, and so we're craving that spectrum, like literally. And you know, it might be a good idea to get something that has like a rainbow flag, or a rainbow, something with a rainbow in it. Like, I don't know what it is, but keep it around you, because I feel like it's going to help us. It's representative of this consciousness shift, and many of you awakening at a whole nother level. And I feel like it's also representative of new joy coming in. So remember that this fiction is going to lead to a joyful place. But you are needing to let go of some things so that you can just welcome in the new, this old new thing, this back and forth, this confused. You know, it's also like you're feeding multiple timelines that are in contradiction to one another. That's friction as well. And what does that mean? That creates energetic wobble or friction or contradiction in our vibration when we're saying, well, maybe I'll go back to that. Or I missed that, but I want this new thing. And then this contradictory vibration keeps both things out, or pulls in the thing that's the lesson, and that we're like, oh shit, I already got that. I knew that. Why didn't I just let it go? Right? So this is important. But I feel like for the masculine in particular, feminine, you're struggling with letting some things go. Masculine in particular, you're confused. There's something about your life path that feels like you're still trying to reconcile something from the past. It feels like something that maybe ended, but you're not sure about it. And there's something new, and you're not sure about that. But I do see masculine moving forward with his decisions about who he wants to be with, and work and home and family and all of that. During July and August. So there'll be major shifts and decisions made. So that's powerful. That's a powerful message, because that is what's happening right now. Think about the clashing thunder and lightning, or cold air, hot air. Okay, so we have fragments. So I feel like this is definitely a lot of the divine feminine have fragments of themselves that they're reclaiming right at this very moment. You know, masculine too, but especially the feminine. I feel like you're really hitting your mark. You're starting to hit your mark. You're really hitting your stride. You know, you're really starting to do that and align with yourself. But as you do that, you're realizing, oh, there's some stuff from the past that I still haven't dealt with or cleaned, and they're asking us to reclaim the disowned pieces of ourselves. And as we step forward further into our mission, into this new life, to bring all of us in that. So I guess the question for you would be, in your wounding, in your core wounds, where did you split from yourself? You know, where, and, you know, questions that you can ask yourself are like, where are my triggers now? Triggers are your roadmap to understanding where the roots are. You can also look at where you judge, where you project. That's often indicative of disowned pieces of ourselves, right? So these fragments are being called to be integrated, okay? And in order, I feel like, to really step into the new life, it's got to be a full integration. Don't forget, this is why I rebranded my channel, and it's Spiritual Material Girl, because it's about spiritual and material integration. It's about 5D and 3D integration. It's about, you know, your child self and your adult self integration. It's about, you know, the darkness and the light integration. That's what it is. That's what that is. And we're being asked to step forth, come forth as we move into June. I feel like in July, where the landscape is taking shape, where we have the opportunity to set the new landscape, to come forth with your whole self, or be working on that. Be aware of what fragments you need to claim. If just becoming aware of it now, like which many of you are, you're thinking about this right now. You're having epiphanies, you're having certain things just come to the surface that are helping to awaken you to this. So claim those aspects of yourself. Like I said, if you need help reclaiming or claiming those aspects, you can come to me. And then we see Fortitude here. So I feel like even in the friction, you know, even though we feel so close, because remember, there's an open door and new things are getting ready to pop in. You know, they already have started to, but like there's more coming. And you can feel it, but yet you might feel really like the energies have been tough. April has been a tough month in terms of just this closing timelines and like getting rid of this dead wood and making the space and dealing with some of the subconscious stuff that's surfacing and purging. So having fortitude with your healing, having fortitude with this moving forward. Remember I said, like I've said in the past several readings, you need to be looking to the future. Learn how to get grateful and be in the now, but be looking in the direction of the future. No more looking back. So they're saying, like, you must continue on. You must keep going. Don't, you know, so what if there was a lull or you needed to heal and pause and heal more? There was more that you needed to learn or know. That's okay. But they're saying, now get back on the horse. It's time to keep going. And, and it also feels like, I don't know if you can see, I'm going to hold this. Bless you, Stella. I'm going to, oh, bless you, baby. We have pollen here. You poor baby. You okay? What I was going to say is that there's almost like a family in this, I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't know if I'm holding it up right here. So there's almost like a whole clan of people. So I do feel like it's fortitude. Also, like if you feel alone or if you feel like this journey's been tough, like stay with it. Stay with yourself, with your own healing, your own self-mastery. Keep moving forward. Keep looking to the future because new people are coming in and some people are creating families. Like you're creating a new family. I told you some people are going to have babies this year. They're going to get pregnant and have babies next year. And some are literally creating new families, new like meeting their divine life partner, reuniting with your twin flame, you know, or you're just calling in the soul tribe that you've been like wanting. And they're saying like it might be lonely, it might be barren now, you might be still standing there with all the dead wood around you, but look at that bud, focus on that bud, and keep focusing on that green bud in front of you, because pretty soon it's just going to be this whole lush, beautiful landscape, and you're going to be like, whoa, I'm so glad that I didn't give up and I didn't stay stuck, and I just let myself. They're just saying, like, let yourself go pass through. Just let yourself pass through and keep moving forward, right? So, you know, that really the message is that we are a little bit our own worst enemy right now, but for good reason, because there's some things that we need to reconcile in our minds and let go of, completely let go of. Let's see what else they have to say to us. I love it. Okay. So, formation. So, and this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, like, this is the formation of your new life. Like, it's crystallizing. It's just starting to, you know, like, you only see one green bud right now, you know? So it's hard. It might be hard to, like, have the faith, but you are forming something totally new. It's going to be a new foundation. You've been setting the foundation. You've been doing it. You're still doing it. You need to keep doing it, Fortitude. And then you're going to form, and see, there's a butterfly in her garb, and it's like you're going to form through this change, all of this change. It's going to form, you're going to form into a graduated being, right? It's never easy when we take another step up. We're graduating up, right? Of course, we're going to have to let go of things behind us, but it's a massive metamorphosis. And it's been happening, but slowly. And all of a sudden, like I said, you're just going to look around. There's going to be leaves and flowers and berries and, you know, a lush new landscape. And you're going to say, oh my gosh, is this my life? And that's available to you. More, you know, increased wellness, happiness, fulfillment, love. Home and family are really highlighted for the second half of this year, as well as travel and expansion. So once we get into September, we're looking at, a lot of people are going to be looking at nesting. They're going to be looking at coupling, nesting, babies, maybe like creative projects moving to the second level, trips and expansion and travel all coming in. So it's exciting. And here we have alchemy, which is what I was just talking about when we were talking about the friction. Didn't I say that it's almost like alchemy? And something new is being born, and something new, and it's coming from the rough. It's coming from, you know, the dead wood. It's coming from the barren, the desert. It's coming from the barren landscape. It's coming from, you know, where everything's dead, and it's like all of a sudden it's going to heat up. And I really do feel like this is really indicative of August. Like, you know, I've been saying this, like August, we're going to see a lot of this come to fruition. And we have alliance. And this is what I was also just talking about. I love how the messages are validated. So, this alliance is about strategic alliances, co-collaborators, coming together with, you know, your animal kingdom, right? Like your soul family. And I feel like in particular, it could be one particular partnership or alliance, or it could be several, like one-on-one partnerships, alliances that are going to help you get to the next level in your ascension or on your mission. And those will be key relationships. And they're saying, like, anything that's forming around that right now is going to be really pivotal for people. So if you have someone you like kind of want to team up with, form an alliance with, do it. The other thing around this, I feel, because she's got the blue robin's eggs here. I do feel like something's incubating in a love relationship, and it's in her throat chakra where it's incubating, and soon enough it'll be time to speak it. So either the feminine or the masculine, or the masculine's feminine expression is going to step forth by the fall in the northern hemisphere and express like a peace offering, or wanting to make a new beginning, or wanting to form some sort of an alliance in some way, for many. So remember that something's incubating. The words are, you know, we need more information. We need clarity on certain situations. We need things to play out a bit. But I think it's almost like genuine expression of love, that's waiting to come forth, that's going to be put forth over the next like 4 or 5 months. Okay. So, and then balance is coming up. So and this is really speaking to my forecast when I was just talking about, you know, the May forecast, like we were talking about, like balancing the polarities. And, you know, here we see 2 females holding hands, but almost like in representation of the yin and the yang. One is sun and moon, and it's actually one person. It's the duality of one person. I also feel like some of our balance is going to come by going back into the earth. There's a reason why I was using this earth oracle deck, because we're being asked to like find new ways to heal ourselves and find new ways to grow our food, and to form community, and to, you know, respect the earth and respect the animals and respect ourselves as like part of that chain and part of the whole ecosystem, but like not looking at it from a perspective of science or system, but more from a perspective of the beauty of connection to all that is. And I think by balancing ourselves from within, we're able to feel more of that oneness come through, and our connection to, you know, community and others and animals and the earth. And it's really important. And for some of you, it's where your healing is at. Something else that I wanted to say is that I have mentioned a few times that some people are holding on to illness. A few times recently I've mentioned this. People are holding on to illness because they're crutching almost to an old story, or they're crutching to the illness. And they're saying that like a lot can be healed homeopathically, through plant-based medicine, through the earth. Even for some people, like emotionally balancing through grounding, barefoot, walking on the earth. But for some of you, you're going to have natural or homeopathic solutions come, and you're going to start to heal, but you have to let go of the story. Okay. And this is getting long, but I feel like there's a few more messages that still want to come through. Okay. At the bottom of the deck. Which is perfect because it's like a new moon card. So, and by the way, this is the new moon reading for the first week of May. So new moon in Taurus on May 4th. And I'll probably come back again right up on that energy and give you another reading. So surface is coming up. Like, this is all the stuff that I was telling you guys. that has been coming up for purging, that's been wanting to come to the surface, that we're starting to see. This is that merging with our subconscious. This is that integration. Some of this is integrating with your child self. Some of it is with suppressed memories, suppressed emotions, denied emotions are coming up. Okay, some people are writing out these emotions. Some are just remembering things. But it's helping you move forward. So even though it might be like painful when stuff comes up, remember that there'll be a time when you have merged and you're going to be truly so much more whole and in your power at that point. And this work is so crucial. So they're showing me magnetism. Magnetism is a quality of many of the divine feminine archetypes. You know, you could say that like a divine feminine in her power magnetizes those around her. That would be a way to describe a divine feminine archetype in her power. And especially the goddess, I would say. And so I think that when you really do get whole with yourself, you are going to magnetize, people, relationships. You're going to draw things into you. Your whole channel for the law of attraction and, and meeting the right people at the right time and pulling in, and magnetizing high vibrational beings and collaborations and all of that. That's going to really heighten when you merge with your, subconscious, when you come together with your child self and with any of those denied aspects or fragments. Okay. So they're also saying listen at this time. So I feel like they're saying listen to the sounds of nature, listen. Nature is nurturing you right now. Listen to your own inner voice. Listen to your own inner wisdom. Nature is sending you a lot of wisdom. It's like the earth needs you and you need, and it's gifting things to you. It's guiding you, but it also needs you to feed it energy as well. So, and not just the literal planting of the tree, it's more about assimilating your energy into the earth. So listen, when you go outside, ask the trees what they need, ask the air, ask the birds what, how you can better spread your energy and assimilate your energy to acclimate with them. Okay, see what you hear. This is also, I feel like, the masculine feminine side. Really, because the masculine psychic awareness and that whole awakening is so about to just, like, it's about to go off the charts for him. And he's, this is a reminder, masculine, to listen to the guidance that you receive from a higher level and that inner knowing and that feminine wisdom coming through. And here we have influence, what the moon faces above it. And I feel like this is a great overall message, because for the whole month, right? So this is really about this month, us carrying our graduated self out into the world or out into the universe and leading by example, uplifting others, really being of service. And you are going to influence people that you don't even know that you're influencing, whether it's just sharing a synchronicity on Instagram, or it's putting a video out, something like this, or maybe it's maybe it's going and being outside just with the animals and sharing your energy. Whatever that is, like, there's such an earthly animal. The earth is feeding off of us right now, is what I get. And so it's not just that we're feeding, it's time for us to give back. And the way that we can give back is to merge within ourselves, become more whole, and to then learn how to acclimate our own energy to emitting, radiating, giving, and then equally receiving. Okay. The bottom of the deck is repetition. So I feel like this is like a new moon sort of a warning. You know, this is about that logical mind, those thoughts that just keep coming in. They keep us in loop cycles. They keep us obsessive thinking or analyzing things. We can't escape from ourselves. We want to crawl out of our own skin, you know, or just we might feel good one moment, then we like keep looping back to the fear. And this is like a lot of that friction. Remember, I was talking about like between the hot air and the cold air. This is like, oh yeah, I want the new, but then I'm addicted to these thought patterns. And also holding a workshop with my friend, which we'll announce soon. It's like the 4L workshop. So it is, how are we naming it? Linear to limitless and logical to love, or something like that. I forget how we're even naming it. But it's going to be a workshop solely dedicated to helping you understand why you're in these thought patterns, what they are, identifying them, and helping you shift out of the fear so that you can come into love and become not only a greater attractor, an influencer, and magnetize things to you, but also so that like you do not get held into this prison of your logical mind. You learn how to lead with your intuition, listen and trust it, and then take action with a balanced masculine energy as inspired action. So I'm going to leave you with that message. I'm sure every time I hit the end on the video, I'll go walk around for a minute and like more messages flood through. So I'm sure you all also get messages when I'm delivering them. And so listen to that, take what resonates for you. And I'll be back again on Sunday for the Master Series, and then next week to touch in on the new moon energy when we're right in it. Okay? Love you guys. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to check out spiritualmaterialgirl.com. I'll see you soon. Bye. Mwah.